Hello, friends. Hello. Welcome, everybody. It looks like we need to wait a little bit and spend some time talking while the notifications go out. In the meantime, in between time, hello, Morgan, and hello, Esther.
How are you?
And a big thanks to Miss JC, who was the first person, as
Esther.
always, on my streams.
Sorry, I forgot. Forgot I had the tab open on the other monitor. Sorry.
A subscriber a day keeps the dark thoughts away. Please sub.
Oh,
I
that's
need that in my
awesome.
life.
I didn't read that part.
I finally recovered my 100 subscribers after, I had made that huge, one day of just updating all of my videos. So I spammed everybody's subscriber wall and I lost 2 or 3 followers.
Dang it.
So I finally recovered them.
Like, I don't do this all the time, I promise.
I know, right? Hi, Jess. Hi, Mr. Rosary. Welcome, friends. I'm so happy to see y'all.
I had a little unexpected boost in subscribers today.
Did you really?
Was not expecting that.
Oh, yes. I know
It
why.
happens every time she does that.
I know why. That's
What
amazing.
happened?
Kate Kavanaugh mentioned to me in her video.
Her video was inspired by JC's video, so she really put out clips of JC and really mentioned her throughout. So
Made my week.
I love
I
that.
love you. So it made my week.
I love
so
that
good.
so much.
And it was a good vulnerable video too.
I wanted to hug her. I really wanted.
I know, I did too. I was not expecting her to break down. I was like, oh, hello,
One
Savion.
day, hey Savion, hello Haley, and Nick is here, as is Nia. Welcome, friends.
Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah, your
Nia,
vlogs
should
do
you
run.
be here?
Nia and Morgan should be here. They both have links. I want to hear 0 excuses.
Skipping out on therapy night. Mm-hmm.
I know.
Well, she did mention she may have fam time, so yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Yes, Nick
I'm
was
only
the first one. Nick was the first one to text me. I was at the doctor's office and he was like, Kate gave you a shout out. And I was like, what?
Oh my god. When Kate was doing her, she did the 24 to 10K relay race and she showed my channel on there. Nick was the first one to message me.
Gotta love Nick. That Nick.
Do you want the link, Savion? I'll send it up to you. I do not. Check your email. Yeah, check your email. If you say you're joking, my dude.
No, Morgan, she sent it a little late. A little,
yeah.
Just a tad bit late.
By a little late, you mean like 7 minutes ago.
Oh, so it wasn't just me.
I was trying to give them a little, I wasn't going to say that.
We're going to do a warm-up question, you guys. Favorite magical/fantasy creature and why?
Ooh.
Unicorn.
Unicorn. Why?
I don't know. It's just something unique and beautiful about them. And then I don't know, they're not real, but it's just, they're so unique and beautiful. And
well, interesting enough, I was going to say Pegasus. And
really?
Yeah. And just because I've always desired to have a connection with horses the way some people do.
Mm-hmm.
And then just the whole magical essence of being able to fly and go be on their back and explore the world. I always found that fascinating.
Hi, Nikki. You're new here. Welcome. Good to see you.
And I've always wanted to learn how to ride a horse, but that's never going to happen. Well, not unless I lose a massive amount of weight. So,
Morgan, same.
I'm so sorry, Tiffy.
Oh, Tiffany, I hope you feel better.
Yeah. 2 choices really hard, Pegasus or unicorn. And we are already getting a bunch of dragons. Dragons is my second. Zombies is my first. And I don't like horror. The zombie.
Oh,
I love a good, because they're so cheesy and they're just such a classic idea, right? Like, you can do a zombie in 1,000 different ways and the story can still feel fresh when you feel that terror the first time you see them, you know?
I'm a fan of Resident Evil games since I was little, so I can appreciate zombies.
We always love a new friend.
Yay!
Yeah. Morgan says Phoenix, and I
That
love
would be
that.
my other choice. That
Ooh,
would be my
Yeah.
other choice for sure. I've always had a connection to
I
the
can see
concept
that.
of a phoenix.
I would also say sirens are really cool. I raise you murderous mermaids.
Yeah.
All right. Like legit mermaids that just go around stabbing people. Like that's my jam.
So maybe I'm misunderstanding what a
You would
siren
have.
is, because I thought a siren was a murderous mermaid.
Sirens also tend to dwell more on land and like rocky shores, and they sing. Mermaids don't necessarily sing to
Oh,
seduce
okay.
men. Hmm.
There
I
was a
didn't know
TV
that.
Sirens
show,
are
a
singing.
TV show that called The Sirens, and that was the whole premise. Was they were, I mean, well, all of them weren't murderous, but they had some murderer tendencies.
They were stabby, stabby.
Savion does want the link, and he says satyr, and I do like a good satyr. Mm.
Ooh.
I especially have you guys seen Carnival Row?
No.
You have got it's so hot.
Really?
Yeah. Okay. So there's a scene, a sex scene with a satyr in it, and I'm like, oh my god, I didn't know I was into this. I did not think this was an awakening for me.
I am very curious now.
It's on Prime, Carnival Row.
Okay. Okay. I'm going to put that on the little list there. 'Cause I did not know
Vampires.
that that was all about that.
Vampires are a classic.
Yes.
Yeah, you do look at the sea different when you know about sirens.
She said the sirens in that show were murder friendly. Yes,
They were.
they were very murder friendly. They didn't hesitate.
Murder spray,
Oh,
vampires, seeing a theme. Yep, yep.
do we
Um,
know we're getting a feel for what everybody writes right now.
Well, not necessarily. I don't write fantasy, but I love unicorns.
we very clearly have like our things.
I think it's awesome.
I'm going to take just a second and email Savion and Esther the link in case either of them want to come up today.
Yeah, and Savion. Very cool.
Forward. Savion. Savion, I'm doing it to the Gmail address, just so that you know. And send. So now both of you have it. It is in the subject line because I'm lazy like that.
And Morgan, where are you? Morgan, where are you?
Yeah. Morgan, we can harass you into this. I have seen this part. You know this scene I'm talking about. I don't even like the actress that participated in it, and I was like, oh my god.
I think that's why I didn't end up like I was like, when I saw that it was her, and I didn't. But
Oh no, a different actress is in this scene that I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. Also, there is a lot of murder in that show, though. Like it's a very dark
really?
thing.
Oh, I thought it was a movie.
Oh, there's murder in there?
Yeah, it's a very dark fantasy.
Okay.
Like it is a gritty.
I'm gonna watch it. She said
like
murder.
opening scene, Barry is getting shot out of the sky.
I don't know what that says about me, but you said murder. I was in.
All right, it's added to my list.
Counts, picking Cerberus because he doesn't. Oh, I would do a big floof, with 3 heads. Oh, it'd be so nice.
Oh.
Hi, Savion.
Hello.
Nia says 1 dragons, which was predictable. We all know her love of dragons.
Yeah.
2 fairies, 3 mermaids, 4 elves. And honestly, I like a good twist on an elf, right? If you just do the classic elf, not big into it. Like Tolkien elves, I'm like, right? But like twisted elves, like dark elves or wood elves or stuff like that have like bigger lore and more diverse representation. Love it.
Okay.
I don't know why I would have thought mermaids would have been the second for her, but
you know. All right, friends, we're gonna go ahead and hop into a sprint because that is what we are all here for. So I know. I'm going to go ahead and do a vulnerability check while we are here because JC challenged me and I made questions that I believe rose to the challenge.
Oh boy.
So Vulnerability check. Let's do a 1 through 5 today.
Oh.
Who's feeling 1? 5. 5 for JC. All right.
All right.
Are you a 1 today, Des?
I'm a 1.5.
A 1.5 for Des?
Remind me, 5 being how vulnerable?
5 being the most vulnerable. You could talk about anything.
Hmm.
So
3.
say that this is your first therapy night, isn't it?
Yes,
It is his first therapy night.
Oh.
All right, so we're averaging a 3 between everybody.
Ooh,
So we'll
Morgan.
start with a warm-up question. Let me see.
Morgan said 5.
Morgan's a 5 and she'll be here soon.
Ooh.
Fun. I'm
If
excited.
you have a bonus for if you have any tea to tell us. Just saying.
The only elf I accept is Legolas in the new Dark and Handsome elf in the new Lotus series. I was literally like, Legolas, you mean you don't like Andorine, who's the new Dark and Handsome elf in the new Lotus series?
Okay, now see, I was delaying on watching that, but now I'm curious too.
He's so broody. He's a good broody elf. You just look at him and you're like, sad boy. Good stuff.
I love this.
Oh, Jesus.
This is going to be the question. You may marinate.
Ooh.
That's a 3 tonight, just so you know.
Okay. Okay. My goodness, hold on. Esther.
Hello, friend. You're in a different setting.
Yes. I was like, wait, this is not.
Yeah, I'm on my bed.
Me too.
Oh, perfect. It's therapy night. There you
Welcome
go.
to the bed.
Sometimes you need something warm and snuggly to curl up into.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's a 3.
What
Oh,
did I walk into?
A 3. You walked
Oh.
into a 3
oh Lord.
because I was
This is JC's
challenged.
fault. This is JC's challenging.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
I don't believe in 30-minute sprints anymore. We're gonna stick to a solid.
No.
I don't believe it anymore.
Okay.
I like a classic 25 too.
Whatever.
I like it. So we are gonna go ahead and hop right into this. Bada bing, bada boom. Roll on out, my Autobots.
Roll out. Oh, I'm sorry. Gwen, I don't know what that is.
Ring a ring a ring a ring.
I missed that bring a ring a ring a ring.
Welcome back, everyone. How did we do?
Hi, Morgan.
Hi, Morgan! I got 11 pages read in dialogue by Robert McKee. How did you guys do?
Ooh.
I did a little reading. Decided I didn't want to write tonight, so
Gotta exercise that brain somehow.
Yes. I'm reviewing a previous chapter to see if I'm going to incorporate some things from it into the new chapter I'm trying to finish. So just doing some research.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Mhm.
Savion, how'd you do, honey?
I posted my first video game back on my YouTube channel.
I saw
Talking
that.
Good.
about all of my projects. Um, and then I read a few pages in my Christian history magazine and started rewatching Bible study from Tuesday. My apostle taught about being born again, and I'm rewatching it.
Cool
Nice.
stuff. Awesome. Esther?
So I finished uploading some. I think I did the reel and the YouTube short, and then I posted it on TikTok. And I most of the time I spend working on the outline for the Hallmark project.
Nice.
Cool. Morgan?
I didn't do much. Yeah, I didn't do anything.
How is book 3 coming?
It's coming. Of course, slowly, but it's coming.
Okay. Understood. Heard.
Yeah.
We're going to hit the comments and then we're going to hop into the answers to this question. Nia says it's a 10, but Gwenna says it's a 3.
For real.
I did get that it was ludicrous, okay? I got that it was
Oh,
Luda.
oh, okay. Oh, she knows Luda. At least she knows Luda.
I know, right? I'm from Atlanta. How do I not know Luda?
True. That's
Hi
fair
to
point.
Pageant. And then also hi to Judy Ann. Welcome to you both. Welcome back to
Oh,
Pageant.
oops. I thought
Did
that
you
was a bot.
I did
did
too.
you
I reported them.
They
I
just
didn't
did
know.
chill cats. All she did was chill cats.
I did. I'm sorry. It looked like a bot. I wasn't sure. You know what? This is why I shouldn't. I just shouldn't. I should have known because Nick didn't move on it. So if he didn't do it, I should have known. I'm sorry.
Exactly.
I'm
You
so
gotta
sorry.
leave the bot smashing to Nick.
I mean, usually when it comes up like that, it's usually not a real person.
I know. It's the explosions in the name, but I've seen that Jonautics team around my channel before, so
Ah,
Sorry, Judy Ann. My
it's all right.
apologies.
Nikki got 134 words. Congratulations.
nice.
And then Nick is done with every assignment but one for class. It's a big monster, so I might tackle it here for the next sprint. We'll see. Good luck, honey.
Yes.
Best of luck to you. All right. And to answer the question, Nick said, I mean, I'm black. I can't say I resent what this country does to my people because, like, that's where my brain went. Otherwise, I don't think I resent anything else.
Hmm.
All right. All right. Paget says, I think I resent other people for having expectations of me that are in direct opposition with what I want to do, and then myself for wasting time in my 20s when I had less responsibility. That's a big one.
Feel that one.
I think this is a human. I'll wait.
Look, some of those bots are really good at looking real.
They are. Some of them are. For
I was
real.
just trying to be a good moderator. I'm sorry.
To talk about resentment, I think I mostly resent my parents, I would have to say, and the way that they did not set me up for success in my life.
Mm.
You know, I feel like a lot of the downfalls and the drawbacks I've had in my life. I mean, and I'm grateful for some of the life lessons I've learned, like dedication, perseverance, inner strength, confidence. Those are things I definitely learned, but I never learned compassion. I never learned kindness, and I never learned stability from them, right? And stability and peace with stability is such a big lesson, and I just never got that from them. And I think a lot of me definitely is still working through that resentment as I grow older. And, you know, recognizing they were kids when they had me, right? By the time they were 27, one of them had 3 kids, one of them had 4. You know, like they had their own issues. But recognizing that I, at 27, am old enough to say, no, I need to work on myself. And they did not do that at that age. You know? Just working through those sorts of things. That's the biggest resentment I think I carry in my own life, besides myself. But this is a 3, so we'll save that for another time. What about you guys? Popcorn style. Y'all got into it. Des, you can pass. You said a 1, baby. You can pass.
So I'll start.
Yeah, because I think mine's gonna be a little heavy. I might want to go last.
Personally, resentment will be towards my father. Let's just say he is. I mean, I don't even know how to say if he was or is, because I have no idea where he's at. Is he's alive? That's the kind of human that I got as a father. So even though I not angry enough, I'm not angry anymore at him, I still have a lot of resentment. And I do resent a lot of people in church for telling me that what I was feeling will get me in hell, and I will I'll gladly go to hell because this is how I feel. This is how he made me feel. And it's like you're trying to fear me into salvation so I can forgive him for something I have no say about. It's just his behavior. It's just that's a lot of resentment there. Like you can clearly see I got agitated. Just in life, probably a lot of institutions like the U.S. government, Puerto Rico government. It's just I I ignore it as much as I can, but when I cannot, it goes quickly towards resentment. It's just there's no positive feelings towards that. No matter how much I like some places in the U.S. and how lovely all you are, the government is trash, and their relationship towards Puerto Rico is.
We agree.
Yes, agree.
Preaching to the choir.
Literally.
Biggest resentments.
Who wants to tackle this next?
I can't think of anything.
You can always pass.
Okay. Yeah, I can't think of anything, so I'll pass unless I think of something later.
Okay. JC, I see you holding in, baby. Let it out.
Say you didn't go yet.
Don't throw me under the bus because you want to prolong.
No, because I know mine might be a little lengthy, so it's best if I go last.
Nikki, yes. It's all right.
I mean, if you skipping Savion, just say it.
No, I wasn't skipping,
Yes,
but
Nikki,
I was trying to go last as well.
Oh, I mean, well, if you want me to go,
someone's got to buck up.
So
okay.
Oh, cool! Look at this.
Making friends.
Oh shucks, y'all can meet up. Let me stop. Sorry. Not making a friend date for Esther. My bad. I'm so sorry.
One thing is being from, and one thing is living
Staying.
in.
Yeah.
She may
So
still
I'm
So
not
true.
from
be
To your
there.
point.
Puerto Rico, living in Puerto Rico. I don't know if she's still here or if she's in the U.S.
Like
True.
me. Yeah.
Savion, she threw you under the bus, my dude. Welcome
Yeah,
to
she
Under the Bus
did.
team.
Oh God.
Damn.
The
I
way
did not throw him under the bus, but okay.
the way people treat young people these days is terrible. Anyway.
Do you resent that?
So that sounds like resentment there. Just,
um, I have two resentments. And that is my father and my father figure. So my
Hmm.
dad and my father, who are two different people. My
Mm.
my dad, the one who raised me, I didn't meet till high school. Still don't have a great relationship with him because he doesn't answer his phone and he's unreliable.
Mm.
My father figure um, was with him. I've known him since I was 5, and uh, because he was with my mom and they wasn't married, but he was with my mom. Certain things transpired, and because of how much I trusted him myself when it transpired, it broke our relationship very a lot. And he's
Mm.
still my father. He still takes care of me. Matter of fact, he's the one who pays my tuition, or supposed to rather. Um, um, and he's also and so one. My dad abused me emotionally, um, and mentally, but there was a pocket of time where my father physically.
Mm.
So I have forgiven both of them, but there's still the held backness of it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so those are my resentments.
Hmm.
I get that. Yep, definitely get that. JC?
this feels like a 10. No, but
It's a 3.
Geez,
You challenged her.
others are taking
Well,
the
what we'll say
the
is
wrong.
it's a 10 in our heads because bad how much
because
it
it, like,
Imagine when we get
I
asked
can't,
again.
I can't really express the anxiety I feel right now.
I'm
Aw.
sorry, honey. You can
No,
ask.
no, you're fine. Um, whew, this is what I asked for. So, I will say, okay. Hmm.
JC, if
Still,
you cry, I probably will cry with
I
you, so you're
still,
good.
oh, there might be a tear or two, but I still hold resentment for my mother, even though sometimes I'd like to think that I don't. But for not just the emotional, physical, and mental abuse that she inflicted upon me because, of of who I came from, who she chose, but and sort of resent my father, even though I don't remember him. I will say I don't remember him. I met him, but I have no memory of him, which is a whole nother thing. Um, my mother made the choice to keep my father out of my life. She made that choice for me, and didn't give me a choice in the matter. And I had been searching for him since I was 16. Recently found out that he has passed away. He passed away a long time ago, actually. But, I feel like because she kept me from him, she kept me from finding him. And I'm not saying that he was the best guy. I know they had issues. There was domestic violence there, which is why as I get older, I'm starting to understand why my mother was the way she was, even though I feel like I shouldn't have been her punching bag.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and also one of my biggest resentments is that I feel like I had to teach myself how to love myself because I don't feel like she loved me.
Yep.
Um, and I know that she probably, I'm her child, so of course there's that love, but she didn't really show me any love. She didn't teach me that I had any value, that I had any importance. She always, downed me. I was never good enough. I was never going to be good enough. I reminded her of my father, who was, a horrible person. So apparently I was a horrible person too. And it's just growing up without that love for yourself is damaging.
Yeah.
Having to learn as an adult how to love yourself is damaging. And then having to do that while you're raising another person.
Yeah.
Because as a mother, So yeah, there's my resentment. Okay. I didn't cry. Yay.
Did
That
it.
was deep. Yeah.
Okay, now my anxiety can fade away now.
Yep. Woosah. How are we feeling on a vulnerability
God,
check?
I'm teary-eyed.
Huh?
Comfort blanket. That's how I feel. Comfort.
He got
Blanket.
cozy. He
You
had to
did.
get cozy.
Esther, what
No,
you
so
say?
when I have with being autistic, I
I
have certain
already
things
got
that I'm doing for
teary-eyed,
I was
comfort.
so
holding back. The-
What's your guys' favorite way to eat a potato?
I love you, Glenny.
whiplash.
Right now, I'm obsessed with smashed potatoes.
Mm.
Right now, I'm obsessed.
I will say fries,
Fried. All right. All right.
Mm. Mm.
but
Mashed.
like homemade fries. You actually take the potato, clean it, cook it, season it, fry it yourself.
yeah, I'm gonna go with that one too.
Yeah, I
Ooh,
think
fried
like,
potatoes. Ooh, breakfast. Yeah.
What was that, Savion? Oh, the little hand claps. Just little hand claps. Good stuff. Good stuff. And for you, Morgan?
Mashed.
Mashed.
ooh.
Good choice.
Someone has to make them really good mashed. Like I like them mashed, but someone has to make them really good.
I was
And
like,
then,
did I
but
put
then
the
if
check?
not, it's fried fries, but like good fries.
Mhm.
I was like, did I put the chat to sleep?
No, it wasn't you.
I
When
mean,
we were sprinting, everyone bailed. Apparently, they're here for the talks and not for the sprints, which I don't understand. It said writing sprints in the title.
Let's say that.
Yeah, just make sure that you
No,
are
this is
not
mine.
echoing per Nick's request. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about before I put another question up and we sprint again? Wow. Wow. A 3 took you out. Y'all talk so much shit, but a 3
Oh,
took
I
y'all
didn't say
out.
Well, we can ask another question.
That's
I
fine.
was not a part of this. I'm just gonna.
I'm still recovering from bearing my soul, so I'm sorry.
I'm just gonna.
Now he's become a human
I'm
sop.
up for anything.
Up for anything. All right. All right. All right. We're going to take it up a slight notch.
I'm curious, so I'm burned. I'm like, I could be,
Ooh,
yeah.
interesting.
Huh?
The question. Interesting.
Oh, okay.
We're going to take it down to a 20. I'm not really all that invested in this book.
Oh, damn. Is it okay?
We're going to take it to a 20, friends.
Oh, so that's so wrong. So
Let's
bad.
roll out.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Ring a ring a ring a ring. Welcome back. Hello, friends. I do want to go ahead and shout out what Eva said, which is come follow me on Twitch, please. Also, I consistently forget that Eva is Blinkerbell over there. Like consistently, every time I'm like, oh, I have a Twitch person, and it's Eva.
It's such a name though.
The chat has already blown up with answers, but I do want to welcome Eva and Jennifer. Thank you guys both for joining us. Nick, I appreciate your professionalism, keeping your counselor side aside. And then all the ways are my favorite ways to eat potatoes, and I love that. Mia, I love that. Which is our non-answer related chat. Everything else is about the answers. So, who would like to take first this time?
I need a clarification.
Okay. What clarification do you need?
Do you mean the greatest restraint? Do you mean real or imagined?
Either. I clarified a little in the chat, so I'll just read that for you guys. Where did I put it? In relation to what you define as success. If, for instance, someone's goal was always to be a stay-at-home mom, and then having kids wouldn't be a restraint. But if you define success as, I will be traditionally published, yet you only want to queer agents who have made multi-million-dollar deals, that would be a restraint. If you have placed a restraint upon yourself, as in, I will be a successful author, but the restraint is, but I won't get up before 8 a.m. to write. You know what I mean? Okay. When you're a morning writer. Or I won't stay up late if I'm a night writer. You know?
Do you want our definition of success before we answer the question? Or?
Sure.
I mean,
you didn't have to say sure. No.
You don't have to clarify that part.
You don't have to clarify. You can phrase your answer however you want, with as much mystery as you want. You can be as vague. You can pass.
I will say my imagined restraint is that I'm not good enough. And my real restraint is money. It's always my restraint. Lack of money. I could do so many things if I just had the money to do them.
I answered that question hella wrong. No, you didn't.
So that's my short, sweet answer. Des.
Okay.
I'm still thinking.
All right, marinate away. Anybody on the bottom row? Where is your courage?
I think my biggest restraints are mental restraints. Because like of the imposter syndrome and thinking I can't do it. And then like JC said, money as well, especially since I'm going the self-published route. It takes money to do that. And then I guess the fear of failure and not doing it perfect. That is also a restraint that holds me back from doing anything.
I get that. Yeah. Perfectionism is a plague.
That's a big one for me, yeah. I would say that's a big one for me. Perfectionism and just not moving forward with something because I want to get it right the first time around, when that's ridiculous. That's the whole process of writing, is to go over things multiple times and experience, the process of how you can make it better. But my brain wants to have it right the first time around. And so I keep doing that for most projects. And then I don't actually move forward because I'm ruminating over making something as good as it can be already, when I could always come back to it later. So I'm delaying time.
Okay. Esther? Or Savion?
Um, I will say my biggest restraint is what a lot of people will say will be the biggest, the good thing. It's like being bilingual is a huge restraint because you know enough of both languages to, to sound naturally, to have conversations, easy conversations. But when you're trying to craft stories in a language you don't completely feel confident in, that is a huge restraint. It's just a huge mental restraint. Because even if the story is good and I'm like, yeah, but verse, but this, but that, it's just like, it's not really, for me, it's not perfectionism. It's just, I feel like I don't know the language enough. Ergo, my storytelling is not good enough.
Mm.
Do you feel as though choosing to write in English has been a restraint for you as opposed to writing in Spanish?
The problem is they both are restraints because what I enjoy writing and reading mostly is in English. Like the
Mm,
market is English readers.
hmm
And whoever reads them in Spanish is because they are being translated in Spanish. It's not originally written in Spanish. And it's just there's no real readership in Spanish for what I like to write. So it was either write in a language that is not your first language and just word through it, or write what you love in your mother language that you feel very comfortable and pretty much no one reads it.
Mm.
I'm wondering if no one reads it because no one's been brave enough to take that dive yet, right? To write a vampire story in Spanish, or if there really is
It's
just a genuine lack of
just
audience.
it's just not what circulates in Spanish speaking
Okay.
countries.
Mm.
Like if you get exposure to those kind of stories, they are translated. They're not like just now I have found a few authors writing in Spanish, those kind of books, but they are working like super hard. If so publishers in like indie published authors in English think they're working super hard, double it, and that will be Spanish
Um,
authors, indie published Spanish authors writing about wizards and witches and dragons and all of these kind of things, because that's not what we read. That's not what we are exposed, and that's not what libraries carry
Mm,
and bookstores. A lot of the a lot of the things that I bought in the US, I can buy them in bookstores here. Like that's what if I wanna read about elves, if I wanna read about magic, it's in English, it's not in Spanish. Because no one writes it because no one reads it in Spanish. So that's
hmm
kind of like wall there. So I had to make
Yeah.
the decision. Do I work through English to write what I like, or do I write in Spanish and have no readership?
Mm.
I get that. I like Eva's idea that you do both. Um, and
The problem
really,
with that is that when you so when you use a language more than the other, you start losing it, and it's very hard to switch between languages.
yeah.
Just speaking, it's hard. Imagine writing it because it doesn't. We don't. The structure of it is not the same. Like just dialogue structure is different.
Mm-hmm.
hmm
Grammar is different. It's like asking me to. I mean, it's pretty much right now. I'm talking to you guys in English, but in my household, if anyone interrupts me, I have to switch to Spanish. No one here speaks English, just me.
hmm
So it's really hard. I will. love to do that, but it's really hard.
Yeah, I get that. I do get that. When I
Mhm.
was taking my Japanese lessons, year 3, we had to do a short story in Japanese, and brutal. I mean, just like, it was probably one of the hardest assignments I ever did in college, to write a full 3 pages in another language, because writing is just so much harder than speaking. And I passed my TEFL, right? I was verbal proficient. Like, I could have a conversation in Japanese with pretty much ease, but oh my God, writing?
That's funny because I'm the opposite. I can write in another language. Like I can write in Spanish, but I cannot speak Spanish.
Really?
Yeah.
Mm.
Mm-mm.
Gwenna, say something in Japanese. 'Cause I'm curious.
What do you want me to say in Japanese?
Whatever.
Whatever?
I speak Japanese, so I just, I'm
Nani
always
mo is
intrigued.
whatever in Japanese.
Okay. Say it again.
Nani mo. If you've not found the author slash booktuber, she's also on Twitch. Yep, Q does speak Japanese. She's very cool. Very, very cool. My answer would probably be a lack of self-discipline when it comes to time management. I fall very easily into my depressive traps of staying in bed all day. Right? That's a lot of how besides the mess in my room right now. Like, if you guys saw this, you'd be like, "You're not living in that," and I'd be like, "I'm living in this." Um, so besides the mess in my house right now, staying in bed is one of the biggest ways my depression tends to manifest itself, and so I fall very easily into that. Like, I will stay in bed all day and do absolutely nothing, and just get up when I need to vacate my bowels. Like, that's it. I won't eat. I'll hardly sleep. I'll just lay in bed, right? So I think that is my current restraint, is not being on antidepressants to be able to break that cycle. And that comes with access to healthcare, and that I choose not to pay health insurance. Therefore, I lack access to that healthcare. As far as restraint I've placed on my previous successes, I would have once called having my own dojo and teaching martial arts a success for me. My goals since then have changed, but if you'd even asked me like 2 years ago this question, I probably would have said moving back to Georgia from Ohio would have been a restraint that I placed on myself. Valuing my husband and his health more than my career in martial arts would have been a restraint towards starting it, because I had a golden path towards having my own dojo and having my own space when I worked in Ohio. Now that my career has changed, I can say I'm happier here in the long run, but it took some adjusting. What about you, Savion? Do you want to answer or you want to pass?
Um. So, I'm going to answer as career because all that other mess I'm not doing. At least not currently. Um. So, um, my restraint, and it's not bad or good. Is telling myself no. I know something can wait.
Mm.
Mm.
Um. And that's and to give more context, I don't have a one thing career. I have a three-part career, meaning I'm a writer trying to be an author. I'm also a public school. I'm also in school for being a high school teacher for history. I'm also technically a preacher, getting ready to hopefully be ordained in the next 2 years. So, um, not trying to kind of push a lot of that to now. I want to be ordained and licensed now. I want to be published now. I want to go in the classroom now, and being like, no, this sort of thing can wait a while. You'll be fine if it takes a little time. If you notice in my recent
Oh,
Yes,
don't
it's
worry about it.
raining
Esther's
heavily.
internet and electricity has been
It's
fluctuating.
storming in Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
If anyone watches my video, if you ever get to watch that video I posted earlier, one of the things I say is that my debut is supposed to be published um next year, but I don't know whether that's happening or not. And so being able to say this can take some time, no, you can wait on this a little while longer, has been a personal restraint that I've put on myself um, as I begin to work on again that three part career.
Mm-hmm. Hi, Nia. Welcome. Welcome, friend. Do you want to take a stab at the question, or would you rather pass?
What is the greatest restraint you have placed upon your own success?
Let's go back to question one.
Well, I was a movie night and dinner. Wow, that was
I should have popped in doing a sprint. I should have popped in doing a second. I didn't have to answer.
Yeah, you challenged me. You challenged me, and I rise to them. Okay, that's what this is. This is vengeance.
I wasn't even.
This is proving my authority. Okay.
No, it's from me. I challenged her.
I mean, you guys were egging her on in the chat, so I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it from any of you. All right, Nick says uncertainty. I think when I was younger, I wasn't sure if counseling was the route, and when I went to college, it wasn't the original route I took, and I had to be in a different place mentally to be where I feel like I hit that success. Granted, I'm not making millions or anything right now, but for me, the success was being in a career and waking up every day not dreading work, and I did that. I love that answer. Mm-hmm. Eva gave a bunch of answers. So
we get to a lot of Evas, yeah.
Various answers.
We're going to finish Nick's real quick. As Nick says, I guess the better answer would be would have been not listening to people who would have told me years ago to be a counselor. I'll piggyback off Morgan and say it was imposter syndrome.
Oh, does that mean those people telling me I should be a politician might be right? Oh no.
If that's
no,
don't do it.
Listen to your heart.
Don't join the swamp. Don't join the swamp.
Well, I've written law. I've helped pass laws before on the ground level. So, and people be like, "You helped write that through that program or whatever. You should be a politician." I'm like, no, and I hope they're not right.
I mean, you'll find out later one way or the other.
Here's the thing.
You're young enough.
They might be right. They might be right, but will you be happy if you do that? Because from the person who ran kicking and screaming from college because everybody was trying to force me to do a career, and I wasted a lot of money at a very expensive university studying something I did not want to do because everybody said, but you're good at that. You should do that. And it made me not happy. I didn't feel good about it. And I keep thinking if I was in government or politics right now, I would be absolutely depressed person losing my mind right now. So only if you absolutely love it with all of the ups and downs, and we're in a big down, I could not do it right now.
I enjoyed the program. It was a lovely high school program in Virginia. Gave me lots of opportunities, but
it's fun. Debate is fun. History is fun. Studying politics, it's all fun.
Yeah,
but when you're actually doing it as a career in your life,
it's my major. I teach history. I'm literally going to school to teach history. Yeah,
I love history.
All right, we're going to go through a rant of Eva's answers. Eva says, I don't know. I think the only restraints I've put on myself are those that stop me from trying. I didn't see children versus career hurdles in my life. I can't think of any paths like that where I had to choose this or that. A definition of success for me is hard to pin down. I try to find joy in the present. I have goals, but what success looks like, I'm not sure. I guess my biggest constraint is just my own level of perfectionism, except I don't think I actually overdo it. I only just finished my drafts this year, and I'm finishing the series before publishing. A lack of self-discipline and inability to really want to change it due to the lack of demand that my passion to write, earn income, or desire for my writing to earn fame, maybe that one. Like, I'd love to publish books, but I could do that in a moment, so it's more than that. more than just that. It's wanting to publish books I'm proud of. Income and readership may affect my opinion of success after I publish, but at the moment of publication, I think I've succeeded in current goals. I like that.
Nice. I can relate to some of that.
Nice. Yep.
I, for instance, have always... I already saw the scene. That's some attitude, Eva. I have to say a goal of mine has always been to be a mom, and marrying my husband put me back on that one because he is as patient as can be. I'm like, give me kids now. And he's like, no, let's have some money first. Let's get a good foundation first. You know? Like, let's be responsible. And I'm like, that's disgusting.
What is that? No.
You'll be happy for it later.
I will be happy for it later. I did marry a good one. I'll give him that. I just, sometimes I don't like him. When the baby fever comes on, I'm like, you're stupid.
Oh,
I come from the sort of background where pressure was just to get a job. Yeah. My mother said, no matter what you got to do, no matter what you are, you got to be a productive citizen.
Mm.
Do you guys want to end on an easy one or a hard one?
Do you mean our easy
You
or
always
your
go in hard, JC.
I mean,
what?
it's Thursday night, so
Movie night's not over? Movie night's not over?
Oh, shucks, guys.
I mean, you can always. And Nia didn't answer this question either, so.
What?
The reception is cutting in and out.
It's like, I can't hear you. I'm losing you. What?
I'm hearing a lot of hards. I'm hearing.
Eva said she missed the resentment question, so she needs some hardness.
I think Mia's at a 1.5 like I am tonight.
Oh.
All right. Let me see. I think we've kind of already answered.
Y'all will be skipping the question, is what you're saying, Des.
I mean, I don't know. It
But will you notice that I skipped
I
it?
suddenly hear my RA calling me.
You are always welcome to pass. There's no judgment for passing. We've already kind of answered this during the last question, so I will save this one for another day. And now we're gonna
wait, go back to that one real quick.
No.
I like that one.
No, we're gonna do this one instead.
No, but I wasn't finished reading it. Can you go back to real quick?
It says, what is your own fatal character flaw? The thing that consistently prevents you from reaching your own goals. We kind of backhandedly answered that. So, instead, we're going to do, do you often find you disappoint yourself? And if so, in what ways?
Oh, that's not even that hard. Oh, okay.
It's a medium question. It's a medium.
The other one, the resentment, was harder than this one.
I would rank both a 3.
I was looking for a 5. I thought we was doing 5. I mean, but okay. Rusty, I understand.
Do not. Next time, only JC is going to be on your stream.
I know, right?
I mean, it's not like y'all actually have to answer the question, so I'm only really affecting myself.
I think we need to have like a vote on what is a 1.
What is a 10?
Because people.
Thank you, Eva. This is a bit soft. I'm just like, wait. Oh.
Nick says don't open too
I guess it open easily.
Be kind with the question. I love it. Okay, so a 1 for me is stuff like caramel or toffee.
Okay.
That's just general conversation. That's not even a 1.
Okay, but put the question back up there. I mean, since you gave us an easy question.
Hold up.
A 3 out of 10 or like a 2 out of 5 is tell me about a time you fell victim to a placebo effect, right? A halfway there would be stuff like...
She has a list.
Yeah, no, I have a list.
I was
halfway
waiting for
there would be, do you often find you disappoint yourself? And if so, in what ways? Right?
Okay, I'm ready to answer that. When you ready?
And then like a 7 out of 10 or a 4 out of 5 would be the what is your own fatal character flaw, right? And a 10 out of 10 would be stuff like gender identity or religion.
Lord, this is worse than
okay.
So we're going to settle for the halfway. Y'all good?
This is not halfway, but okay. The other question actually raised my anxiety level. This one does not, but like I actually felt anxious and like face
We're going
turned.
to save it for another stream. I feel like we already touched on a lot of those themes already tonight, so we're going to save it for another. This one, though.
He's doing this. So
I always disappoint myself.
We got to end on lighter notes. That way we don't scare off people whose first time answering therapy questions,
Like poor Savion in his blanket.
Or people who gave up their family time to be here with us and didn't come here to be attacked, okay?
I'm not attacking anyone. But Eva said religion is not that high for me. I'm saying.
All right. 1, 2, and 3. Let's go.
Woohoo!
Ring, friends. Welcome back, everybody. We rearranged a bit, but I'm happy that we're all here. Special hello to the Bird of Inferno on Twitch. Welcome, friend. How did everyone do that sprint? I got like 5 or 6 pages read, and I think that was enough for the night.
Nice.
What
For
about
me,
you?
The last sprint, I did like 480 words, so that was good. But then this sprint, my
Nothing.
brain went wah wah. Okay, got
That
it.
was a night.
Yep.
What about you, JC? What'd you do?
I read a few pages in my book.
Awesome. Miss Morgan?
I wrote down some more plot notes. Still trying to figure out the structure of book 3.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Miss Esther?
Still working on the outline. Still, yeah, working on the outline. I'm in the middle of all of it, so I cannot say almost anything because I don't want to spoil anything.
Yay.
I'm glad it's coming together for you.
Yes.
Miss Nia?
Oh, you're muted.
I sure was muted. So I'm watching the episode before the finale of Good Omens. So yeah. So after I'm halfway through this one, and then tomorrow I'll watch the last one because after this, I am inspired to do the thing. So I'll be writing until probably midnight or 1 o'clock. So
yeah,
so
those last 2 episodes are a bit of a roller coaster.
Yeah.
They really get you. They're like, here, stab.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Savion?
Stop it, StreamYard. It muted me back when I tried to unmute. StreamYard doesn't like me. So I first of all, I switched to my corner.
I see.
Corners are happy places.
The corner, the guys, the corner. I did some template making for some cool writing tools, including my character Genesis sheet.
Nice.
And I also did some finalizing for this weekend.
Very cool.
Hello to corner and wave to corner. That's fun.
Everyone's saying hello.
I love that. Eva got another design kit.
Oh
no!
Come back to
the corner was a devastating mistake. Oh no!
Too much to handle.
No, I think it's the bed. I think the bed's jealous. It's okay.
That's what it was.
All the corner was getting all the attention.
Bed, guys, bed.
No need to attack the corner now. The corner has betrayed you.
I hope y'all know this is exactly how I am in the middle of this at this time of night, even when I'm not on camera.
Bird of Inferno, tell us what you were reading about. And I'm glad that we did get some work done tonight, even between the therapy. Nick says he's been watching his favorite cooking YouTuber, so that's what he's been doing instead of his homework, like he should have been.
Oh no, not nice.
And Eva is doing admin weekend.
Speaking of homework, Savion, did you make class this morning?
That's right.
Oh, really? Okay.
Okay. So, I'm gonna answer the question. I did not, but not because I was up late. Listen, I woke up with no movements in my legs and did not regain movement until like 2 something. And so it was not because I was in on StreamYard with y'all until like 3. It was because of that.
Okay.
And so
Okay.
I missed both classes that I had
It
today,
was 2, not 3.
but it was
Oh,
more of a sensory issue, not because of y'all.
I left at 2, a little after 2.
okay, so it was 3. It was 3.
Yeah, I think it was closer to 3.
I am so glad I called it a night. Y'all are ridiculous.
Yeah.
You abruptly leave us every time. You're like,
Yeah.
Oh, also, Nia, your comment right as I was leaving. Oh, she said bye this time. I was like, oh, I said goodbye, and I was like, I feel like that was the ultimate burn. Like,
because you never say bye.
No,
like,
you're
all right,
like,
guys.
you're like, I'm hungry, I'm tired. Click.
And then the next thing you know, you're gone.
You're like, okay, bye.
Bye.
Or we could be in mid bye, like, boom, she's just gone.
I am the worst about it. Bird of Inferno says urban fantasy. I love a good urban fantasy. Eve's
Nice.
Guide to Ghost Removal. I
That's
love it.
fun.
My body
That's
is not
the
for that
drama
3 a.m.
that
life
I
anymore.
like,
I can handle midnight sometimes. Me too. But honestly, you know, this is why we're going to tear through this question and all the answers. And then I'm signing off.
She's going to be like, bye.
Like,
you didn't stop the stream. You just left.
Following her back. Just like,
we're just all stuck here and it's live. And it just,
yeah, you're all just live until the end of the night. Eva says she worries more about disappointing others than herself. She sets such high standards, but also recognizes her own achievements. So she doesn't often disappoint herself. Oh, God, we lost someone. Who did we lose?
JC.
JC. The Gremlins tonight.
My goodness. She was doing
When
so
I do,
well.
it's probably tied to disappointing another. I'm confident she will find her way back to us.
Yes.
I did, despite my college not investing enough money into internet.
And Esther did too, despite the storm in Puerto Rico. So JC will come back. Nick says, I think my biggest disappointment was taking 3 years to graduate with my first master's. I'm more disappointed in myself because I, at the time, didn't know how to stand up for myself, which is why it took me 3 years instead of 2.
Sorry, I was smiling at Esther because she got real comfy.
I love it. I love it. I love the neck pillow. It's like me when I'm backstage and I have the inflatable neck pillow and you guys all make fun of me for my chubby cheeks, but it's like, oh, it's so cute. Eva says she only got her degree at 36. Younger me would have been disappointed, but I'm actually just proud of doing it. Maybe I'm too butterfly for these soft questions. You're aggressive.
Her and JC.
I know. Welcome back, JC.
Oh, can you put me back in the spot, please?
Oh, yes. Wait, let me figure out how I do that. Do I drag and drop?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you can just slide
There
around.
you go.
There we go. Do you mind being on bottom, Des?
I don't mind.
I was going to say something about that. Jenna's not here, so she would have.
I know, right? I was going to say something, but then I was like, I'm going to leave it to the erotica writers in the chat. Most of the times in my life, I just blame it on ADHD and keep moving. I feel that. Let me see. And yeah, Jennifer made a comment in here about I value religion a great deal. My faith is everything to me. And that is why it's a 10. Not because there are some people who don't care to discuss religion, but because almost everyone has dealt with some form of religious trauma in their lives. And that is why religion is a 10 on my list.
That's a 10.
Wait, what?
It's Laura coming in for our last question of the night before we sign off. Hi, honey.
You're still on a reading roll. I love it, Laura.
I know. I wish. I'm in such
Laura
a reading slump.
She just consumes so much.
I used to be like that. I miss it. It's been a while.
I'm going to have to DM Laura about Miss Pierre's house.
So who's answering the question?
I'll answer first. I will say I often do not disappoint myself, and only because my mother often lectured me as a child. She said, if you set your expectations low, no one can ever disappoint you. So I just set very low expectations for myself. I'm like, oh, I got out of bed this morning. That's a dopamine rush, right? You know, like that's. And sometimes you have to do that because when you struggle with chronic depression, you have to realize that like small tasks become huge successes if you complete them, right? Like I may not be able to brush my teeth for 2 minutes every day, but I can scrub them for 30 seconds. I can do that. That I can do, and that's a success. Expectation low, expectation met. I crossed that off my list.
See, it's interesting because for me, it's the opposite in the sense that because of my depression and anxiety, I know she's on a roll. Because of my depression and anxiety, it's tied very much to this. So when these moments happen, it's usually because I'm definitely being hit with a strong case of depression. And so it's something that I have to fight because my brain definitely goes to not so great places where I do find myself very disappointed in myself for not being able to do the smallest tasks sometimes. And so I get frustrated because I have the expectations of myself to do more or just do the normal stuff that people can do every day and that should, be second nature, but it's not always so.
I relate to that. And I would say like the exact same thing. I disappoint myself constantly because I can't do the little tasks. I can't even brush my teeth. I can't even get into the shower some days. I can't, make a normal meal. So like, yeah, I just disappoint myself constantly. But I think it's because of the anxiety that I have. And I also have OCD and ADHD and other things. So that does not help the situation.
I think I lucked out having only depression and not anxiety, not ADHD and that sort of stuff. Because if I had other things tearing me back, or taking me back or making me struggle harder, I would probably I would down myself because like 3 times this week I was like, I should shower, and instead I took wet wipes to my armpits and called that a day. All right.
You did it. You did it. You
just got to do something. You did something.
Right? Like I can't make myself a sandwich, but I ate lunch meat. Right? And if I had any expectation for myself that I was focused in on, then I would constantly be disappointing myself. And that's hard.
Yeah.
That shit's hard. Y'all are struggling. And I'm sorry.
I mean, it's true.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, it answered for me. I pass.
I'm like, because I do know that I have OCD. I'm wondering sometimes if I should go for a late ADHD diagnosis, because with OCD, when I hear other people who have OCD, because a lot of people think, oh, if you have OCD, that means that you're constantly washing your hands or constantly checking to make sure you lock the door, or that everything has to be perfect. And it's like, yes, that. And there's this other layer of this thing where if something's not right, you become hyper focused on it. Yeah. If it doesn't get done, you become hyper focused on what you didn't do, which affects your ability to do all the other things. And then when things don't get done, that's where the anxiety, disappointment, all of that, and it's just kind of like layers on top of each other because of the one little thing that you hyper focused on that you couldn't do or couldn't fix. And it literally it could be the littlest thing and it just blows up. And people don't always understand, like, why can't you just, if you feel like writing, why can't you just write? And I'm like, because this and this and this and this aren't done. And it doesn't matter how badly I want to do the writing thing. if this, I'm not going to be able to focus on the writing because it will not leave my mind that there's dishes in the sink. You haven't done this. You haven't done that. This needs to be done. That, you just, I can't focus on it. And I don't think, and I don't want to say I envy people who can just be like, everything is a mess and I'm just going to sit here, and I'm like, that's amazing that you can. Because I'm like, how do you not see or care about these things? I wish I could, but I can't.
That's why with mental health, I think for me, a trigger is when people do exactly that. If you really wanted to, you would.
Yes, that makes me so mad.
Oh my God,
so mad.
And you'd be like, you don't know my struggles.
Thank you.
Like, you don't know my struggles.
I didn't try, just doing it.
And I'd be like, you don't know my struggles. You don't know my life.
I'm like, I want to be able to get up first thing in the morning and write, but first thing in the morning, as soon as I get out of bed, the bed needs to be made.
Yeah.
I can't get past that. So if the bed's not made, like when my husband likes to sleep in, I'm still thinking about it. I'm like, when is he getting up? When is he getting up? So I can make the bed. Like,
things held hostage until that moment. Yeah.
It's just like, finally. He's like, whoa.
I'm in the same camp as this one and these two. Well, I don't think Mia said that she's always disappointing herself. I feel like I'm always disappointing myself. I'm an overly ambitious person, and my mind tends to think I can do all these things that it's not humanly possible to do all those things in one day. So, and then I get upset with myself because I didn't do all of those things that I know is not humanly possible to do in one day. So I'm constantly disappointed with myself for not being where I should be in life or where I think I should be. All the things.
Yeah.
I have the whole depression, the anxiety, the OCD. I have this really weird thing where I have to park in a certain spot in my parking lot. And it like really bugs me. Like it mentally bugs me if I can't park in that spot. And it's like I will park in another spot just for the time being. But I will literally go back out the house later on, and I'm like, check to see if somebody moved out my spot. And now it's so everybody kind of knows that that's my spot, and no one really parks there. And my neighbor even was like, he's like, you want me to go ahead and move my car? I was like, could you please? I'm like, I'm sorry. It's a thing.
One thing we have to realize is that media today portrays OCD as like obsessive cleaning disorder. Yeah. And it's not obsessive cleaning disorder. It is obsessive compulsive disorder. Yeah. It is a compulsion.
And there's so many subtypes of OCD that I never noticed before.
Exactly.
Because I see an OCD therapist now, and there's like at least 12 different types of OCD. So like you can have like harm OCD, just right OCD, contamination OCD, religious OCD. Like there's a lot.
Wow.
Savion, we talked over you a couple times, honey.
So y'all kind of hit a lot of what I was already getting ready to say. I'm gonna say yes, and to answer if in what ways what I'm going to say can be generalized, and Gwen, you kind of like said it a little bit, but for me, it's from a religion context. It's not making the distinction between something that's cultural and something that's actually the lifestyle, and making sure that you base your expectations on lifestyle and not the culture. For example, one of the things that is, and this will go back to what I said about the career-wise as well. One of the things in Black church culture is ordaining, because you see you're Black and you're very good in church and you do all this stuff. You got to be the usher, you got to be the deacon, you got to be before you even graduate high school, you got to preach a full sermon, speaking tongue, jump them down, casting demons out. The fact that because you're a Christian, automatically you just called to preach, which is not true. But like those certain things um, that if you don't have it, or if you don't see this in you, if you don't see yourself doing this at this moment, that you've lacked something, or you're lacking a certain thing. Funny enough, y'all talking about OCD. I have a friend who's in Pennsylvania, who's OCD, and her thing is she over questions because of what she over questions her salvation all the time. Why? Because she sees people talking about, well, you're not saved by works, but you got to do work, but you still got to do work. So she reads all of this and stuff like that in the Bible, and then people start talking to her, well, you ain't doing this. She sees all these TikTokers, because I was part of that group too, uh going to Africa, and they doing this, and they speaking out on TikTok and doing Zoom Bible studies and stuff. And she's like, well, I'm not doing all of that, and I'm not this. And so her OCD kicks in, and she has to question. And then that's when she falls into it. And so that separating what culture is, whatever context it is, separating that culture from this is something that's cultural and this is something that's lifestyle, and basing your expectations on that lifestyle, on what your lifestyle is, based off your religious beliefs or your preferences and whatever else, and basing it off that in the lifestyle part instead of the cultural part.
That's a lot. Yeah. Esther, do you want to take a pass, baby?
I mean, I'm mostly muted because it's raining really hard, so I'm trying to.
Oh, well, we can't hear it.
lower
So
the.
StreamYard's doing its job of doing the noise canceling because we can't really hear it. So, but we can hear you really good. Really good.
Okay, good. I don't know if I find myself often disappointed at myself. I see. I've seen so many people in my family that get hung up on disappointment that I think I'm consciously telling myself to not think of that, to not wait disappointment. Like, I make the decision, I am not gonna regret it, hence I'm not gonna disappoint myself. Because I feel like disappointment usually comes when we regret something we did or when we regret something we didn't do. And I'm like, I'm just not, whether I like it or not, that's the bed that I dress and I'm laying on it, and I'm not gonna regret it, and I'm not gonna be disappointed. I'm just gonna deal with it. So that's why I don't find myself disappointed often. Have I disappointed many people in my family? Of course. Some of them I do it on purpose. So
that's a them problem.
I love that. I love that.
People.
I love it. I also love what you said, that you have to tell yourself every day, because it is something I practice every day, is telling myself, no, Gwenna, your worth is not based on whether or not you can accomplish this task. Your value is not based on whether or not you hit this number, you hit this goal, you do this thing, right? And that's something you have to tell yourself, or I tell myself at least 5 times a day. Easy. At least 5 times a day, easy, is reminding myself that my value is not based upon, my productivity is not based upon the value I bring to others. It's not based upon my cleanliness. It's not based upon my messiness. It's literally, my value as a human being is inherent. And I have to tell myself that when I get out of bed and when I go to bed, and at least 3 times in between.
I also don't let other people make me feel disappointed on myself, because a lot of people like to put people down, and I'm like, you right. I mean, you can feel disappointed in me. That's your feelings. You are entitled to them, but you're not gonna force them on me.
I agree. I
That
agree.
is one thing I do. I don't let other people's disappoint. I learned that, like I said before, I learned that a long time ago when I left university, and everybody's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "You guys made me do this thing that I don't want to do, and I'm leaving now. Bye." So I learned that then. So the parts that I struggle with are the parts that I don't have much control over, like the neurological things that I can't make myself stop. Therefore, writing in, drawing, and doing my creative stuff are always last, because all of the other things have to come first, which means not only does my brain think up lots and lots of things and want to do lots and lots of things, if they're always pushed to the end of the day, the likelihood of me finishing them are a lot less. If I had all day to do them, I'd probably get a lot more of them done. But I'm trying to fit everything into this little window before I get too tired and fall asleep. And that's just what I'm working with. And I have to be okay with that. And I am okay with that. Um, and it's just a matter of finding ways to make what I can do work better for me. So it's like I've accepted it, but I still get disappointed that I don't have anything published yet. And I'm not a better artist. I want to be a better artist. But I'm not professionally trained because I didn't go to college for that, but I'm not bitter about that. It's okay.
I love that. I love that. That positive self-talk. I'm not bitter about that. That's okay.
Fine.
So being self-taught, starting late at life, I'm really not disappointed because I enjoyed the last 20 years of my life, being married and raising kids and going to the soccer games and gymnastics and all of that. It was a great joy. So I don't regret any of that, but it's just further pushed all of the things that I really want to do. It just has further pushed it back to the back end of things. And I feel like that's kind of like just how I work. The important things kind of come last. And it's not that, because the kids and everything, that's all important, but the things that are personally important, like the me things, always come last. But there's always time for them. It's not like anyone's ever said, "Oh, you can't do these things." It's just that I prioritized it myself, because it's what in my 20s and 30s, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to just be the mom and be all in and just, immerse myself. I'm like, I've only got 20 years of this, so I want to enjoy every moment, because they're only going to be little kids and then they're going to be gone. So I really immersed myself in that. So that part was great. But the day-to-day life of it, it's kind of like my day-to-day life is the same way. All of these other things are going to come first. And then, oh, look, it's 6 or 7 o'clock. You might have time to do some writing or maybe draw, or which thing that you want to do you get to do? And it's like, I don't know. Which one do I get to do?
Deciding, yes. That's probably, yeah.
Thank you guys for sharing and for participating in this vulnerable space. I really appreciate, and I'm proud to know every single one of you. So thank you. We're going to hit the comments because I want to end on Nick's. And then we're going to do outros and sign off for the night. Laura says, I hyper-focus on one aspect of my life, writing, reading, and let the others slide. My dishes are almost always piled up. My hair gets matted from neglect, so I have to go to a salon and get it fixed. I don't know what balance is. I get that. I definitely get that. And if you saw my room right now, you would agree. It's daunting right now.
Not in my vocabulary. What even is that word?
If I took my hair out right now, you would agree. It looks presentable, but it might not be that presentable when I take it out.
Nick says, and this is why I wanted to end on his, resident counselor here. Make sure you're taking care of yourselves in those times of depression, but even more so, give yourself grace. Let me say that again. Even more so, give yourself grace.
What's
because
that?
your rest that day isn't your best always.
Mm.
Also, part 2, check your local communities for free counseling. A lot of community centers do offer them, and they are generally also graduate interns. So you'd be getting real counselors. So I know this is therapy night for everyone, but please remember there are real counselors out there, and you can pay them for their services, or you can go to free community ones where you don't have to pay. I love you all. Let's start with outros. Miss Desiree, will you kick off our outros?
Oh, damn,
I
I was-
will. Hello, friends. I am Desiree. You can find me over at Coffee Reading Writing on YouTube. I post weekly videos on Wednesdays, and I also stream on Mondays, right by the moon, live streams at 8 p.m. Eastern. You can also support me over on Ko-fi. I'm under Desiree M. Ortega, and I also have a Redbubble shop that you guys can look at any type of reader, writer merch. Also for the fall, got some fall themes going on, cozy themes.
Very
So
pretty things.
Very
Etsy
pretty.
Etsy shop.
and I also have now an Etsy shop, and that's easy to find under coffeereadingwriting.com with some printables. So if you're interested in like wall art prints or planner prints, I got some of those over there as well.
Love
That's
it. Miss Esther.
Me? Okay. Hi, I'm Mr. Maria Andujar. I am a Puerto Rican writer aspiring to be a hybrid author. Usually do writing blogs on my channel, same name. Do some chatty videos. If you want to come plan Q4 with me, it's going to be a live stream on September the 25th at 6 p.m. ES time, if I remember the information correctly. What else? I do have a serialized story called Marina the Vampire. Is available on Vela, Coffee, Patreon. I do real shorts and TikToks about the update about the Hallmark project. And sometimes I appear on productivity sprints with all of these lovely people.
And we love having you.
yes.
Miss Nia.
And I am Nia the Vixen of Fiction. I'm here on YouTube and occasionally on Twitch for the Twitch folks. We will be on Twitch next Saturday with Author Tubers React. Sunday we'll be doing scripting the book. So if you're a fan of Good Omens, the book or the show or both, come hang out with us. We're gonna chat about it. I host writing sprints at 7 p.m. on Tuesday nights, and I write historical fiction, sci-fi, fantasy, supernatural, romance. I love the genre blend because it's fun. And I'm a mom of 4 and a low-key mom and a wife, and I'm doing all of the things, or at least I'm trying.
What's up, everybody? I am Savion Taylor, Bible teacher, college student, and Christian writer. Over on my channel, I document my life journey through writing, faith, being autistic, and how chaotic it all can be. Um, if you would like to, I have a journal on Amazon called the Beauty in Me Journal. I also have a flash fiction coming to my website March 4th called The Memories Beside the Sink, which is inspired and dedicated to my late grandmother. And so you can check all of those things out and come join the journey.
Miss Morgan.
Hello, my name is Morgan Lee. I stream every Monday morning at 8 a.m. on my channel. I have a newsletter that you can sign up for information on my publishing journey and everything. I have one book out. It is the first in a dark fantasy trilogy. Books 2 and 3 will release in November and December of this year. And I think that is all.
Love it.
Newsletter. You have a newsletter. I'm sorry.
You do have a newsletter.
Did you mention the newsletter?
She did.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I darn it.
Okay, wait.
Yeah,
I don't.
I'll write it down.
Okay.
You're good,
am I
honey.
good?
You can go.
Okay. I am JC Carpenter. self-published author of 2 books, The Diary of Succession of Lies and The Art of Love Poetry Collection. I have a blog, online magazine, online store, and a Ko-fi page. I post videos on Mondays and Thursdays, and I live stream on Wednesdays from 7 to 9 p.m. And yeah,
You have
that's
a merch.
it.
You have a merch store.
I said blog, online magazine, online store, and a Ko-fi.
She practiced that. She
You
had
did
it
that.
I've been working on memorization.
Good. And the enthusiasm
You
you
did
did it with,
so
I
good.
loved it.
Gwenna, over. No, that way. Gwenna, over to you.
Me, I am Gwenna the Winner. I am your host. You may find me streaming here on Nope, this isn't a Saturday. This is a Friday. Fridays in September, Fridays and Saturdays in October, and in November every weekend for NaNoWriMo. To go ahead and shout out a few things that we forgot. Morgan has a readathon. Savion has a write-a-thon. Nia has merch coming soon. And Esther also has a newsletter. You can find links for almost all of that down below in the boxy box. I will have videos coming in October if all goes well. Deep diving into dialogue. So please go ahead and like and subscribe if you are stalking. Love you guys. We're gonna go ahead and have
uploaded a video. So
yes.
watch it.